free content for the coach, by the coach, raising the bar every week. The Internship Series, episode number 19. The Internship Series is sponsored by Hammer Strength. Hammer Strength has been building athletes for more than 25 years. Not just elite athletes, but those with the focus and determination to train like one.
What's good, folks? Coach Grummer here with the Olivet College Athletics Strength Conditioning Program. I'm here with Haley Hardy with the softball team. We're here to discuss a couple tips that we can do to fix imbalances within our hips. Haley often comes to me and starts complaining about lower back pain above the glute area. So we know that there's something going on with her hips that are causing problems. When we have that, we want to make sure that we correct it before we get into any exercises. So when the athlete comes to me and starts complaining about the lower back pain, what I want to do is, number one, check the balance of their hips. So I have the athlete lay down on their back. Yep. The important thing is make sure that they're breathing. A lot of times when they're feeling discomfort, the athlete is holding in the tension. If they're not breathing and they're not trying to relax, the tension will not release. So I'm going to check the balance of her hips. What I do is I say, I'm pulling up her knees, right? We're then going to push them into the belly to kind of get an activation in the glutes. Then we'll pull out the legs to check the balance of her hips, right? And we can judge that by the medial malleolus to see where they're in line, or the heels of their shoe, and you can see we're about an inch off. So once we determine what leg needs to be worked on, which is the short side, we're going to drop the leg down, bring the leg up that needs to be worked on. We're going to put it at the hip at 90-degree angle, knee at 90-degree angle. I'm going to step up in there to put security in that leg. We're going to put a little pressure on her hip, and we're going to do a PNF stretch with a medial rotation. So I'm going to push down, and I'm going to have the athlete drive up rotationally into my hand. For a 3-second count, I'm going to say release. And then it'll come down a little bit further. I'm going to have the athlete then again press into my hand, rotation, release. I'm taking it down one step further, up, release. And then relax that side, bring it down. I'm going to measure it again to see where we're at with that angle. As you can see, it brought in about a ½ inch, so I'm going to try the other side and try to get that back into balance. Relax, press down, up, relax, up, relax. So if we get the other side, I'm going to check it once again. As you can see, we're getting closer with each stretch. It's important to remember before doing any PNF stretching or active releases that you get consent and let the athlete know what you will be doing. Having the ability to correct hip girdle imbalances is important to a strength coach that do not always have athletic trainers on site. Doing movements while having impingements can cause more harm to the athlete, so it is best to get them fixed and taken care of before starting the movements. Hip girdle imbalances are caused by long periods of sitting, not getting the right depth on squats, and improper form during running exercises. Once we get the hips back in balance, we then allow our athlete to stand up and let us know how that lower back pain's feeling. Hey, how's that back feeling?
It's not as tight as it was before.
Good. Then we can, once we get it loosened up, we're able to do exercises without causing any issues with the body for those movements. Another problem area we'll have our athletes complain about is problem within the anterior side of the deltoid, numbness in the arm, or radiating open the neck. So one of the tips to help that, take care of that with athletes, is to understand what nerves innervate those areas to make sure that they're not impinged, right? So we take our athletes and we see the scapulas, and we can see that one of her scapulas are depressed. The other one is elevated a little higher, so there's an imbalance going on. If we get a picture of that. So I know at this point in time that we've got an impingement within the nerves in the scapular region, the subscapular or the axillary nerve. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to gently feel for any knots in the scapular region. Once I locate those knots, I'm going to do a quick active release before I have my athletes do any exercises that use either the pushing motion or a pulling motion. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have her abduct your arm 3 times to get this active release with these scapular nerves. Raise your arm. 1, 2, 3. You feel any pain with that?
A little bit.
A little bit. All right. Again, the pressure in that knot is going to be a sensitive feeling. You want them to breathe in order to get that to release. So go ahead and bring it to the front. Flexion. 2. Good. A lot of times you'll feel little pops, and that's those muscles innervating, trying to get everything firing once again. Again, we still see that the scaps are a little bit off, but they're starting to come back into balance. Again, I'm Coach Caleb Grummett with Olivet Athletics. This is Taylor Schellenberger, Haley Hardy, both of the softball team, and tips on how to correct imbalances before we exercise.